Hello again from me, Rouvaun Smit. Good to have you along for a sure thing. I thought I'll record this early so that you can watch it at your convenience to make an informed decision as we look ahead to midweek racing on Wednesday. We're off to the capital of KZN, Pietermaritzburg. Hollywoodbets Scottsville is the venue, and they play host to an 8-race program that gets underway at 12:25. Now, before I even remind you about the Hollywoodbet Punted Challenge selections, let me just congratulate the one person who correctly picked all 8 winners on the Turfentine card last Saturday, however, didn't take the bet slip. And that was the difference between winning the normal jackpot and winning the big cash incentive prize. I always tell you, if you are going to take in the free Hollywoodbet Challenge entry, take the bet slip for $50 because that puts you in line for the big jackpot prize. And if you're the one person that correctly picks all the winners, you could be an instant millionaire. Good luck with your selections and good luck with finding a few winners on this card. I thought it's a pretty tricky card in between, and there are a couple of races where you need to put in a couple to safely see you through certain legs of the exotics. Let's start with the first race. It's a maiden plate where 14 runners are carded to contest the 1600-meter event. I'll start with number 2, White Seahorse. Now this one from the stable of Glenn Cotson. That was a much improved last run when making its local debut. That, however, was at Hollywoodbets Grayville on the poly of 1800 meters. Now going to Hollywoodbets Scottsville, I do think need to repeat that kind of a run to be effective, but I do think needs to be included in whatever bets you're playing in the opener. Number 3, Vencedor, with Rachel Viennica on board, is another one that warrants inclusion. This horse has got ultra-consistent form. That last run, when this horse finished third, the horse that finished second, just ahead of it, was a horse called Ragnar the King. That horse has subsequently come out and franked that form line, so that certainly does give Vencedor quite a bit of a boost coming into this race. I also like the look of number 7, Prince Florian, but for that last indifferent run, certainly had very, very good form. Now, last time out, this horse was slow into stride and returned not striding out, so you can put a line through that last run, and I do think Prince Florian does have a chance on the good solid form it showed prior to that last run. But I like number 9, O. That's my first choice selection here with Sean Veal on board. This one from the stable of MJ Wedendal. Also a much improved performance with blinkers when making its local debut in KZN. That run was over the course and distance. That finished second, just under a length. And I do think there's more to come from 9, O. So that's the one to beat, ahead of 2, 7 and 3 in race number 1. We move on to race 2 on the card. Race 2 is a maiden plate for fillies, where 11 runners are carded to contest the 1600-meter event. Let's start with number 2, Got the Fever. This horse has got good recent form, but does return from a bit of a break, and if not in need of the run, probably could make its presence felt. 3, La Vida Loca. Now this horse has got solid form. This one from the stable of Glenn Cotson. This horse placed in both its starts at this track. I do think there will be more to come from La Vida Loca. Tends to love running at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. We went for it last time, let's go for it again. 3, La Vida Loca to win it, ahead of 9, Glorious Butterfly, who's got fair recent form. For third, 2, Got the Fever. And for fourth, I'm going with number 7, D-Day. 3, 9, 2, 7, the numbers in race number 2. Third race on the card is a Class 3, benchmark 92, 11 runners over 1600 meters. Couple of them are renewing rivalry. Number 2, Sundance Kid, and number 11, Capsican. They meet again. Sundance Kid is 2 kilos better off for a 1.9 length beating, and number 10, Bristol Hercules, and 11, Capsican. They meet again. Bristol Hercules 1.5 kilos better off for a 1.2 length beating. So that brings them closer to each other on paper, but there are others that I much prefer. Number 5, Kitchikel, is one of them. This horse is ideally course and distance suited. In fact, in the winning form, if we look for Duncan Hull's comments, you'll see it says, Kitchikel, good last run from a wide draw. He will appreciate the extra and can give a good account of himself. Good enough for me. That one makes the short list. Number 6, Johnny the Thief, is bidding for a hat-trick, but does return from a bit of a rest. I do like number 7, Down by the River. Now, if one looks at this horse's form, both his wins have come over this course and distance. He certainly has been very good in terms of keeping his solid form lines going. He cannot be ignored. Comes in with a nice galloping weight. Peter Muscat has got Brevin Plyke is riding. Third run after rest, sold. 7 Down by the River to win it. Ahead of 5 Kitchikal. For third, I'm going with 11 Capsican. And for fourth, I'm going with number 9, Last One Standing, who's having his third run after rest. So 7, 5, 11, 9, the numbers in race number 3. We move on to race 4 on the card. It's a C Stakes where 12 runners will contest this 2,400-metre event. I thought Frank Robinson has got 2 lively chances in this race. He's got 2 Richard the Fearless, who's back from a bit of a break. Won his last start, and if not in need of the run, could be in the shake-up. But number 7, the Mikado, is definitely one that needs to be included. Model of consistency, I think, should run another cracker, particularly with Craig Zaki on board. Uzwana, number 8, has got Sean Veal riding for Dean Kannemeyer. Sean Veal certainly knows this one well. This horse tries further and must have a chance if he sees out the trip. Number 9, Flying Cool. This horse won its penultimate over the course and distance, so another one that brings good solid form lines into the race. So a case can be made for quite a few of them, but I like number 12, Captain Oliver. This horse is improving with each and every start. Lightly Race is yet to miss the frame. Solid form. That penultimate particularly is the one that caught the eye when finishing second over the course and distance. I do think there's more to come, particularly having only had a few runs under the belt. So 12, Captain Oliver, is the one to beat, ahead of 7, 8 and 9 in race number 4. We move on to race 5, which is a Class 4 benchmark of 80. 10 runners carded to contest this 1,400-metre event. I'll start with number 1, Palermo. This one has got Rachel Vinica on board. That takes the 1.5 off the back. This horse has got decent form. Now, if one looks at that last run where this horse finished third, this horse fly, jump and return having coughed. So that was a run full of merit, finishing into the money. Third run after rest, sold. I'm going 1, Palermo, to win it. Ahead of 4, Slytherin. Now, this horse has only had 1 career start for 1 career win. The horse that finished second that day was a horse called Who Blinked. That one has subsequently come out and franked that form line. Does come back from a bit of a break, but I do think any amount of improvement can be expected. So Slytherin gets the verdict for second. For third, I'm going with number 3, Sweeper Keeper. And for fourth, I'm going with 5, Plaza Accord, who's always there or thereabout. 1, 4, 3, 5, the numbers, race number 5. We move on to the 6th race on the programme, and that is a Class 4 with a benchmark of 80. 10 runners carded to contest this 1,400-metre event. I'll start off with number 1, Magnum Magic. This one has got Rachel Vinica on board. She rode him the last couple of starts, so she's gotten to know him well. Last time out, jumped awkwardly and was never ever a threat, and I think we can put a line through that. Rachel will know exactly what to do this time round. Ideally course and distance suited, will be up handy and will be staying on at the business end of affairs. Number 2, Rooster Bradshaw, is from the stable of Duncan Howells. Now let's go to that page again. Duncan Howells says, Rooster Bradshaw, improved since maiden win and can give a good account of himself. Sold. Rooster Bradshaw definitely makes the shortlist, but I'm in the camp of number 3, Numzam. Comes into the race carrying 52 kilos. Serena Moody rides. I do think that this horse does deserve and warrant the utmost respect. Getting closer with each and every start. Third run after rest should be cherry ripe to take the lion's share of the prize money. I'm going 3, Numzam, to win it, ahead of 2, Rooster Bradshaw. For third, I'm going with number 6, Stars in Heaven, who is on song for the hat-trick, and fourth with number 1, Magna Magic. 3, 2, 6, 1, the numbers, race number 6. Penultimate race on the card, race 7, is a C Stakes where 10 runners are carded to run over 1,000 metres. Let me start with number 2, Lady of Vix. Now, this also loves to show toe from the get-go. Should strip fitter second run after rest. I like number 3, Vision to Achieve. Paul Gatsby, Tristan Godden, they team up. If you look at this horse's form lines, certainly has been a model of consistency, does bring decent form with him into this race. A horse that cannot be ignored, and I'm going to give that one the verdict as my first choice selection, ahead of 2, Lady of Vix. For third, I'm going with 5, Music is Life, who's placed on all 3 starts over this distance. And for fourth, I'm going with number 4, Mbele, who's got solid form. The blinkers seem to have done the trick. 3, 2, 5, 4, the numbers in race number 7. And that takes us on to the lucky last, race 8 on the card. And this is a Class 4 for fillies and mares with a benchmark of 80. 10 runners carded to contest this 1200-metre event. And here, number 1, Emerald Green, certainly does make appeal. Was staying on last time out. I think that last run is best ignored. I think will be right up there and involved with the finish. This was, of course, recorded back-to-back wins prior to that indifferent run, and 3 of his 4 career starts have come over the course and distance, so must be included in whatever bets you're playing. I like number 4, One Smart Cookie. This horse, to me, ideally course and distance suited, is ultra consistent and should be rewarded accordingly. So I'm going for One Smart Cookie to win it, ahead of 6, Colorado Creek, who happens to be better off at the weights, with number 1, Emerald Green, who gets the verdict for third, and fourth, I'm going for number 7. So 4, 6, 1, 7 are the numbers I'm going with in the last on the card, and that takes care of our preview for midweek racing on Wednesday at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. Trust you'll have an enjoyable and profitable afternoon. Till next time, from me, Rouvaun, take care. Cheers for now.